Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode. Have you ever had a stubborn file load in an STL and you're just like, oh man, my slicer says there's an error with this file? Well, in most cases, your slicer can fix a lot of common issues with disconnects, holes, polygon issues, things like that, and it's usually pretty good. I'd say about 90% of the time. Works, right? But every once in a while, you get that stubborn file that gives you that error that says, your slicer can't do it. Or, if it's Lychee, it tells you, oh, there's still holes that are remaining to be filled. G2 Box has its own errors for repair. And a lot of times people are like, I don't want to mess with Mesh Mixer or loading the file into some other program. But there is one program that's real easy, native to Windows, still free as far as I know, and it'll repair those files for you really quick. I'll show you how. This will be a real short episode, and I think you're going to learn something. All right, so here we are in Lychee Slicer, and I just dropped these STL files in here. You can see they're all red. Each one of them has an error or something. And, Lychee Slicer is screaming at me going, there's a problem. So go ahead and click the repair button. All right, so this one fixed, no problem. This one's fixed. Okay. Now, see, here's what I was hoping about. All right, so these errors can't be fixed in Lychee Slicer because of too complex topology. Lychee Slicer essentially is saying it doesn't understand enough of what's going on with the problem to fix it. Okay? So in this case, we're going to need to actually load this into another piece of software. Now, I'm not telling you you absolutely have to do this because, your print's going to fail if you don't. I won't be one of those people that's going to tell you that. However, I do recommend it that you do make sure that your files are good, the topology is good, because your chances of having a more successful print are greater. So let's go ahead. We're going to get out of Lychee Slicer, and then we're going to cut into the other software real quick, and I'm going to show you how to get this done. All right, so some of you are probably going to be familiar with this software. Others are not. This is known as 3D Builder. This is a native software that you can download at the Microsoft Store. It is no longer supported, but it is still downloadable. Download it before they take it off the store because this you will find to be invaluable. So the first thing you're going to notice when you import your file is obviously it's going to ask you, hey, you want to import this? So yes. And then immediately it starts going, oh, there's a problem. Invalidly defined objects. Okay, great. Now, this is a really easy process. It can take some time, and a lot of people don't have the patience to wait. I have actually had files that have taken upwards of a few hours for this program to go through and repair. But at the end of the day, the file is completely repaired, and Lychee Slicer, none of my slicers will throw up an error anymore. So, good things come to those who wait, as someone might once said. So once you have this imported and you see this little red box with the wrench, go ahead and click it. It's going to start doing this repair process in the corner, which, like I said, sometimes can take a decent amount of time. In other cases, can be relatively quick. I don't think this one will take too long. It's a very small model, so we'll give it a moment, and we should see it go rather quickly. As soon as that bar is full, the repair job will be finished. Like I said, it can take a minute, but I think it's about done. Almost there. Just about. There we go. Okay, so now the file has been completely repaired. All right, so next step is going to be you're going to want to save it. So I'm going to save the file. and I apologize, this will not show you a dialog box when you do that. If you say save as, you can choose to save it as a different file. Otherwise, you're simply saving over the original file. So once that's saved, we can go ahead back to Lychee and let's take a look and see if we fix the problem. All right, here we are back in Lychee Slicer, and we're looking at the model. And as you can see here under Object Repair, nothing to repair. Object has no structural issues. So we have taken the file that was giving us that error we could not fix, and now it has been repaired. And we can take a look at the model and check anything. No detail has been lost. It's going to maintain every bit of detail that it had originally. So you're still in good shape as far as your print goes. And now you can sleep at night knowing that you did all that you can to make sure that your files will print as well as they can. Anyway, happy printing, folks. Good luck, and I hope you learned something from this short episode. I know this wasn't a super long one, and some of you are probably going to tell me I could have put this in a short. However, I'm going to tell you this is a little bit too much information for 60 seconds, and I wanted to be a little bit more thorough so that way new people to this understood that this was a way to fix the files, and going through it step by step was the better way of doing it than, rather than speedily running through it quickly in 60 seconds. Anyway, enjoy, y'all. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. See you again soon.